Hey everyone and welcome. We are Next Level Business Advisors and this is Business Stories of Success. If you want to break through and achieve your own business success by learning from other successful business owners, you're in the right channel. For more of our content, make sure you click subscribe and don't forget the bell icon so you're the first to be notified when new videos are added. Enjoy today's video.
Hello, hello, hello. You're with Marc Adams at Next Level Business Advisor, and today's a special day because I have my man with me, the man, the myth, the legend, Omar Rodriguez. He's the owner of Starlite Windows, and he's one of my favorite people on earth to talk to.
Goes both
How you
ways, man.
doing, man? How
Not
you
bad, my
doing?
man. Not bad.
Awesome, awesome. So Omar is a business owner in Paterson, New Jersey. And I'm not going to go yammering. I'm going to let him tell us. Tell us, Omar, who are you? And tell us a little bit about your business.
I'm Omar Rodriguez, like you said. I own Starlite Windows and Cabinets. What we are is a wholesaler for Windows and cabinets. We started in '92 as a window manufacturer, and then we slowly but surely faded away. In about 2012, we faded away to be more of a wholesaler and pretty much a supplier for general contractors and developers.
Nice, nice. And now tell me about the role that you play in the business.
Well, again, I take that as a trick question because as an owner, there's so many different things I do in a day, anywhere from helping out a customer to actually putting a window in my truck and delivering the darn window myself. It just depends on the day and what needs to be done that day.
Now, it's interesting, though, because you guys are different. I've interviewed partnerships and individuals. You guys are a family-owned business. Right, so it's you, it's your two brothers, your mom and your pop. How do you, and I'm trying to help people who are in this situation understand how they can be successful. How do you guys determine who does what and how?
Well, again, mom and dad started the business. So dad doesn't really care much about the, how can I say it, like the front office in a sense. So he likes to stay more in the back. Mom is more the financial person. She does all the bookkeeping. Well, we have someone that does bookkeeping, but reports back to her, you know. And then we have the three boys, which are pretty much all sales reps in a sense. Myself, my younger brother Daniel, and my older brother. But my older brother actually likes to deals a little bit more with our suppliers. He has the relationships with all of them. He finds all the window factories to buy from. He finds the cabinet companies to buy from, and then myself and my younger brother, we're more of the sales reps of the business. And, I dive into obviously the financial parts of the business and whatever else that needs, that's a little lacking of that day, I would help out that position. Okay.
Okay.
But, it really comes down day by day, Mark.
Nice. I understand. It makes a lot of sense. We work together in a lot of different ways, and so we talk often about roles and how important it is to have roles. What I love about your family is that you guys work together, and that's probably what builds the successful business you have. It's not like you guys are fighting for position to fight. You all kind of pitch in, and that's what makes the family situation work. Because not all families can work together, right, and build a business as successful as you have. And I'm not going to talk too much about success. We'll get into that a little bit more, but I'd like to do a little bit of housekeeping because if a general contractor wants to find you, or even a homeowner or a business, a developer, right, real estate developer, how can they find you? Do you have a website? What's the best way to reach you? Phone?
Honestly, I like to tell everybody the best way I like to get reached out to is email. I might be in a meeting, I might be on a phone call, it's almost like a text message for me. So, I respond faster with the email. But we also have a website. We're starlightwindowsandcabinets.com, or, you can call us on our office line, which someone's here between 8 and 4:30 every single day, Monday through Friday, and 8 to 12 on Saturdays. And that's pretty much how the best way to get in contact with me personally would be email, though.
Okay, so now give me some deets. Give me your phone number.
973-278-9366. And again, the website is starlightwindowsandcabinets.com.
Okay, now I'm gonna bust your chops. Starlight, Starlight Windows.
Starlite. Windows with an S
Ah,
and cabinets with an S.
all those details matter, especially on a website, right? So you don't want everybody going to Starlite Windows and Cabinets in Massachusetts. so,
That's
so
true.
Starlite Windows and Cabinets.com. Excellent, excellent. And you mentioned that you've been in business for how long?
28 years, since 92. Me personally, I've been in the business since 2006, but my
Nice,
family started the business in 92.
nice, nice. So your company has a long history. You got some longevity, and that's amazing because a lot of businesses fail. They say 50% in the first 5 years fail. So you guys have been well past that. And now I guess you're next gen, right? Second generation in the business.
Yes, sir. Yes,
So
sir.
then what makes you an expert in your field?
Honestly, I think experience. I think that's what really boils down to. When I first came in here, I didn't know all the ins and outs of the business. I had to go out and take a look at the job sites and see what people were doing and, how they install a window or how they put a cabinet together. How do you do this? How do you do that? That's all experience. But I think just in shows you a lot in a sense. You know what I'm saying? I don't, and to this day, I feel like I'm still learning new things. There's new other window products that I could learn. There's new cabinet lines that are coming out that I haven't learned. I just feel like you're only an expert to a certain extent until you start learning. You got to learn more and experience and time. I can't stress that enough. Is that time really is the big thing in business. It's not one day you're going to be an expert overnight. It takes time. You got to meet new people, fall on your face a couple of times, get back up. Why did you fall on your face? That's how I look at it. I think is my pure experience of being in the business for so long. And I was sort of groomed for the business.
Hmm.
Dad brought me to work every summer, all summer long, every weekend. I was here on a Saturday. Like, that's just how it was in my family. It's just, my friends were going down the shore. Omar was going to the office at 8 o'clock in the morning. That's just how it is.
Hey, it worked out well though. Your dad's a genius because now he can sit back and do what he wants, and his boys have actually. And let's talk about this for a minute, if you don't mind, because I'm talking about being an expert in your field. Now, we worked together for I don't know how many years, but I remember you've told me the story. Your father was doing window manufacturing,
Yes.
and you were obviously you were making it was 1992, and now we're moving on. But you took that business and exploded it to what it is today, right? So
Mhm.
what gave you that kind of insight to say, hey, this is what we are doing, but this is what we're going to move to? Because that's a calculated risk.
Well, it was partially decided by himself and my older brother Angelo. To be honest, we weren't doing that well in the manufacturing business. We were a small fish in a big pond. So we weren't getting the big, 500 window jobs. We weren't getting the big complex buildings. We weren't getting that because the big guys will come in and swoop right underneath us and get the job. And a lot of times they even outright say, we're going to lose money on this job just so you won't get it. And our name is on the building and not you. And what do we do with a big guy that's worth hundreds of millions of dollars? And we are a couple $1 million company trying to compete with the big guy. It was impossible. So it was either lose the shirt off your back or change with the times. And me and my brother said, listen, this is not going to work. We can't carry this load of 30 employees, 40 employees, carry inventory over $1 million to make sure we have enough parts. And God forbid we were missing a lock or a screen. Then we can't even make a darn window that day. That day, that's it. That day is a shot day, and we're sitting with our thumbs in our butts with nothing to do because we don't have the part to make the window. So that was sort of the turning point. And Dad, funny story was Dad actually was in vacation. He went to Puerto Rico one day,
All
and
right.
he was with Mom, and me and Angela turned to ourselves and like, yo, we can't keep doing this. We're gonna kill ourselves. We're dying a slow death. So what we decided to do is just say, hey guys, I'm sorry. You all have to go. And we let go about 30 employees.
Whoa.
Yeah, we let them go. And then, we built the business back up. We found a window manufacturer that could support us at a good price. Then a year later, we started with the cabinet world because it was so easy for us. We had so much time on our hands because we were always micromanaging so much when you're doing manufacturing. And we cut off so much time. So we found the company. We met up with them. They gave us the credit to float us for whatever we wanted, and they were really a great company to deal with. And we still deal with them. We do millions with them. You see our numbers, Marc, and we're not going anywhere. just for the fact that, we grew with them. And, it's only right that we stay with them, even though they keep raising their darn numbers, but that's a different story,
That's a different story. Yeah.
different story. But, it's just, that was the reason we turned over, because we couldn't keep up anymore, bud, to be honest. We most likely would have been out of business if we kept going down that path. So we had to change with the waves.
Gotcha. So I wanted to key in on that part and that story, because when we talk about business success, there are a lot of businesses who, I'm going to say, the handwriting's on the wall, but they just refuse to read it, right? You think of businesses like Blockbuster. They were bigger than you, bigger than me. Where's Blockbuster now?
There's
Right?
one.
Okay. So and the block got all busted up, but there's a lesson in there, right? And that's really what this is about. So to be a successful owner, you had to take and make hard decisions, letting go of staff, changing your direction, finding new distributors or manufacturers, so you didn't have to do it, so that you can move to this distribution. So you changed your business model even to find success. And so I just wanted to really key in on that for our people who are listening. Don't be intransigent in your thinking. Be flexible, right? You don't want to just abandon everything immediately, but you take the time and analyze, and then you make the choice. And that's what you and your brother did. And as a result, you were at one level in your business, and now you're off to tremendous areas of success. And that's a real nice story for anyone who's listening. So I'm going to ask you this question, because I have to keep throwing this word about like I know what I'm talking about. How do you define success?
Well, to be honest, Mark, success to me is time management. That's what I think success to me is. And the reason I say time management is because my wife fell ill. You know the story, Mark. She got ill, and I realized there's one thing in life that you can't get back, and it's time. As efficient as my business could be, I would want it to be more efficient, because that costs less money, less waste, less everything. When my wife got ill, I would have given every dollar, my shirt off my back, to make sure that she was okay. You know what I'm saying? I would have went to every resource I possibly could have. I would have went through all of it, because I would have gotten it back. The money I would get back, all that, anything else I get back. But time, I don't get that back. I lost that time with my wife. And so looking at the business end of it, I look at it more like, time management is probably the most important thing. And that is what I contribute to my success. I think a successful business or a successful person, they're very well with their time management, very efficient people in a sense. And that's what I would consider success. If you could be very efficient and you have, you could cut all the fat off that, that piece of meat and run real lean, you're a successful person. You know what I'm saying? That's how I look at it. Because time is the most expensive thing in the entire universe is time. We don't get time back. So that is it. That's where I think a successful person, successful business, they're very efficient. That's what I think as success.
Okay, good. So when I think about success, and I'm going to piggyback off what you're saying, when we talk about managing time, then it's really about making time for you and what you want in life, right? So if you can run your business efficiently, now I have time to pursue what I want to pursue. If it's spending time with the family or vacationing or hiking. I remember when your wife got sick, it was scary, right? And you kind of had to disappear for a little bit. And it was beautifully, you have a family business, so you were able to continue to run your business. But that time is a commodity that we don't get, most of us, right? And so for the solopreneur, sometimes we start our business with this dream of success, and we're thinking, yachts and Mercedes, and maybe I'll get a Bentley. And then they find that they're working, from 8 a.m. to 9 o'clock at night every day, and they barely have enough money in the pocket, and they lost that. And so part of what you're mentioning, if I'm getting you right, is if you can efficiently manage your business and make the right margins, obviously, you'll have time to enjoy your life. And that's what it should be about.
Yes, 100%, Mark. You said it better than I could. 100%.
So let me ask you this question then. Do you consider yourself to be successful? Do you consider
Not
your
yet,
business?
my friend. Not yet. The way I look at it, I see the light at the end of the tunnel, but it's a very, very, very long tunnel. It's like a very, very little light. That's how I feel right now. I'm young, I'm hungry. I think we have a lot more to grow and a lot more ways to make my business efficient. And we're not at that point yet. I'll be honest. I'm still working 6 days a week. I'm still here Monday through Saturday. It is what it is. I see my kids on Sunday. That's when I see them. But they understand, and at least they have food on their plate and they have a nice home that they can enjoy. So hopefully next 10-15 years, I can be that successful person I want to be.
You're a funny guy. I tell you, it's so interesting. Success is a journey, right? And I was talking to this other, a doctor. He's actually a dentist, and he made an interesting point because I asked him if he felt successful. And he said, I do feel successful. It doesn't mean that there's not more success out there, right? And we talked about, like, he was like, you go hiking, you climb this mountain, you're going up to the mountain, you get to the mountaintop, right? That's success. But when you look out off the mountaintop, off the edge, what do you see? The whole world in front of you. There's always more to accomplish, right? And so I love the journey of the, I like the journey, right? You want to have a successful journey, but you are definitely just been working with, you're hungry, you're driven. And that's amazing. You're going to find whatever your vision of success is faster than you say. You say 10 years, it'll be 2. That's just the way that's the way you're wired. That's the way you're wired. So let me ask you a question. In business thus far, you've had many years now. What's one big mistake that you've made in your business journey?
Oh, that's a good question, my friend. My biggest mistake or flaws is not following my own procedures. I feel like, I put this ironclad label saying this is what I need to do. And guess what Omar does? The total opposite. And then at the end of the journey, or whatever you want to call it, at the end of the project, the only one that gets hurt is Omar. Because, the customer's happy. They got their job done. They got everything they needed. But Omar just lost, 3-4 hours of his day to make that one person happy. Where Omar should be like, no, that's not my problem. This is what you ordered. This is not my issue. Like, a little bit more firm. But, being a business owner, you don't want to scare away the customers. You're scared of lose out on future business. So it's like a double-edged sword to play with.
It's a double-edged sword. But here's the question now, because that's the mistake, and you just said it. You're not following your own procedures. How do you adjust that mistake so that it doesn't continue to proliferate in your own business? What do you do?
Honestly, the next time it comes around, that same issue, that same question, that same thing, I've tried to give it like a 3-step type of thing.
Okay.
The first time, okay, I already went down this path. Like, let me see if I could hold off a little bit longer and see what this person's gonna pull. So if they let it go, we're good. But if they don't let it go, then most likely Omar gets to lose again. It's just trial and error. I feel like
okay.
Give and take a little bit. See how far you can push it, but don't push it too far. That's how I feel like. It really is no right answer to that, Mark. Like, you try your best not to have to make them the same mistake, but some people are pushier than others. The squeaky wheel gets the grease, right? So some people just keep squeaking. And what are you gonna do? You're gonna sit there and say, "Leave me alone"? No, you gotta find a solution. And finding the solutions, usually the owner has to bend over and get in trouble or lose some money or lose time.
That's an interesting one. I'm gonna look at it this way, especially when we talk about overcoming issues. What I try to do, I mean, like you said, we always have to be flexible as owners, but come up with a plan. What went wrong? And the next time, what could I do to head it off at the pass? Have you tried that one yet? How do I, like, if I know that this client wants to call me every day at 8:00 in the morning to check his order, can I put something in place where at 7:55 he gets a call, an automated call that gives him the status before? You know what I mean? Is there some kind of a plan there to learn from things? Like, you guys are amazing because you guys have had so much success and you have plans that allow you to grow. So I think if you ever put it all together, man, like you said, it's going to go from 10 years to 2 years. I said from 10 to 2. It'll be 1.5. You guys are driven, and that's what makes it really cool. But when we make mistakes in business, and that's not a mistake, what you're talking about, that you might have some there, but the big ones, to avoid those, it's putting in that plan so that you can mitigate it from going forward. Would you agree with that?
100%. That. And hey, listen, that's something that me and you work on a weekly basis. You know what I'm saying? And and that's God honest truth. Is that's the reason I'm doing these things, is to make sure that or that's why we talk every week, is to implement these rules, make sure these rules don't interfere with anything. And and I follow the path, or follow the rules. So I do try and do my best, and that's what we do. What can
Yeah, man. And it's, hey, you've been around and I've been around long enough to know that it's a constant journey. It'd be cool if it was just simple, but man, that's just the way it is. But it's the fun part of the journey too, right? I think it is, learning from these things.
Like we were talking about this the other day, Mark, how it's all perspective, right? Everyone thinks it's black and white, but we're always saying damn gray. So that's that is where we stand. We're in the gray. We're not black and white. That's not how it works.
It never works that way, right?
Oh,
it might be black and white on paper, but when you take it off that page, there's some shades of gray we got to get right.
Where are we? What happened?
That's right.
But
yeah,
it's like you said, it's a journey. It's trial and error. We tried this. Okay, that didn't work. Let's try this now. Okay, that doesn't work. We try this. I just feel like you have to stay persistent, though. You can't just give up. That is the main thing. No giving up. So
yeah. Actually, that's going to tie into my next question. What do you think is the single most important quality needed to be successful in business?
Persistence, dude. You can't give up. You can get slapped in the face every single day. Every day, something's going to pop up. And what, you're going to just run away from the problem? No, you got to go stronger. Not to bring my wife back up again, but not that when it's funny, because when I was in the middle of all that, my wife was in a sedated coma for 8 days, and who knew what was going to happen to her? She had rehab for 2 months, blah blah blah. I had 4 doctors. 4 doctors cry on my shoulder. I had the chief of the ER. I had the person that gave birth to my daughter cry on my shoulder. I had the chief of the ICU unit, and another doctor come and the OBGYN that cut my wife open again to give her the hysterectomy. He cried on my shoulder. And all 4 of them say to me, they look me down in the eye and go, I don't understand how you're holding up so strong. I go, what am I supposed to do? Just sit here and mope? No. Right now is not the time for moping. Right now is the time to find a solution. We got to figure out what's wrong with my wife, fix her, and get her better. I'm not going to sit here and cry. That's not what we're going to do. And that's the same attitude you need in business. You cannot give up. You cannot be like, oh man, shoot, I just lost $10,000. All right, we lost 10 grand. Where are we going to find the 10 grand? How are we going to make it up? That's it. It's spilled milk. You can't just cry about spilled milk. Move on. Let's figure it out. That's how I look at that is the key of success, I feel like. You know what I'm saying? I am not a quitter. That's one thing. You could beat me up, kick me while I'm down, hold me underwater, but I'll find a way to get back up. That's just how I am built, and that's how you have to be built. And you have to be tough-skinned. Like, you have a real thick skin to be a business owner. You just can't sit there and cry in your sorrow. Like, oh, I had a bad day. Everyone has a bad day. I don't want to hear it. Everyone has a bad day. So that's just how I feel. Maybe that's a little too strong, but that's just me.
That's the embodiment of your success. And I remember and I even said, man, I don't know how you hold it together. Like, when I saw you and I knew your situation, you weren't like, oh, what was me? And you were like, Omar, you were like, just who you are. And I'm like, how are you? Like, that's a lot of strength and a lot of weight you were carrying. And so, yeah, I can see how you would say, persist, don't give up. And that's what you guys have done. You and your brother have done to turn that business into the success that it is. So business owners who are listening to this, you have to have that persistence, that drive, that determination to succeed, because business will slap you in the face at least every other day. Right? At least every other day. There might be some days you don't get that slap, but best believe
the next day you're getting 2. You're getting 2.
So you better be ready to persist before you find that success. So awesome. Let me ask you this question: how have coaches or mentors helped you in making your business flourish?
Well, luckily I have a couple mentors and coach. My main mentor, I want to say, is my father. That man, he's my mentor / my role model. He came from to this country at the age of 17, 18 years old and became a millionaire. That makes no sense. Didn't speak a lick of English. That doesn't make any sense. How does he do that? How? Persistence and hard work. The man is one of the hardest working men I ever met in my life. Till this day, he still works here. And he doesn't like to do paper pushing. No, he likes to work in the warehouse with the guys, with the laborers. He wants to move cabinets. He wants to move windows. He wants to do this. He doesn't want to push paper. So that is one of my, I had a great role model as my father. Okay. Then I would say my second mentor would be my attorney, my buddy, Robert. He's a great attorney. He's a real estate attorney. That man, I could go to him for anything or everything. And that boy will sit down with me and like really break everything down. What is this? Why? Why are you going to do it? How are you going to do it? Where are we going to do this? And he'll break it all down for me. And then I have you. So you're my coach, you know, and you, of course, you're not only a good friend, you also grew my business every year about $1 million. That's no BS. You saw the numbers. Since I met you, Mark, you personally grew the business $1 million a year. How? Implementing those rules, yelling at me when I'm doing something silly, you know, cleaning up my books. How crazy were my books when we first started, Mark?
Oh, Lord have mercy. Oh, Lord have mercy.
You know, I had, look, that little spot on your head is because of me. That
Yeah,
bald
yeah,
spot
yeah.
right
You
there.
see that? Yeah, yeah.
That's definitely because of me, you know.
Oh my
But
goodness.
again, you know, that's just and I had to thank you guys for that. You know, that's a big key of my success is because of you guys, in a sense. You know, my dad hardworking, my friend that doesn't let me go down the wrong path, and then I have a coach that is on me like white on rice about anything. Oh, why are you buying lunch on the business credit card? What are you talking about? What are you talking about? It's a business credit card to buy lunch for the office. I get yelled at for this. I can use my own damn money. Are you kidding me? I don't get it. I don't get it. But
Oh my goodness. But I gave you a solution for that. I gave you a solution.
you always get solutions. You always get, so that's why you're my coach. You know,
That's
you
cool.
turn me the other way.
I'm a shout out because I don't know your attorney friend, but I know your father, and he is one of the most amazing people that I know. Because, like you said, he's built that business, and I've only known him as this successful business owner. He's one of the most humble people that I've ever met.
Right.
Right. Like, I mean, and so I that's one thing about your family. And I mean, I'm digressing and it's not part of it shouldn't be part of but what makes, and it might add to why people are successful, right? Attitude matters, you know? So maybe there is something there. Your family is such an amazing family. You're harmonious in what you do. You don't all see eye to eye with even some of the things we implement, but you all work together. It stems from your father. And that humility, it's an amazing thing. So it's always been a pleasure watching you guys flourish. So you got some nice role models there, and everybody needs them in business. Wouldn't you agree? Like, I don't know of any business owner who's successful who made it without coaching. And I don't mean even like in my capacity, but someone to say, hey, you know, take a beat, look at what you're doing, maybe make this adjustment. We all need it to be successful. Would you agree?
100%. You need someone from the outside looking in to say, hey, guys, you're silly. That's not the way you're supposed to be going. It's this way. You know, we're just so involved in our businesses sometimes that we lose focus of where we're going. And you have that one person that just comes and says, hey, guys, it's this way right here, not over here, here.
Yeah.
And you need that. I truly believe you need that, you know.
Absolutely.
And my father, back to him real quick, he's not an egotistical guy. He's not a prideful man. He doesn't sit on top of his high horse and says, I built this. You know what he tells the people when they walk in the door? They go, can I speak to the owner? He turns around and goes, talk to one of them. Those are the owners. Come on. Yeah. Seriously? Yeah. He doesn't want that title. He doesn't care for that title. He never did. And I think that's why it works so well for my family, because I don't have that dad that said, I built this. You know, which a lot of fathers do that in the family business, and the kids can't not follow their footsteps because they're the same way. So now you have two bulls bumping heads. Doesn't work.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You know? And that's not a challenge you guys face. So that's really cool.
Thank God.
Let me ask you this question, because we're butting up on our time. But what advice would you give to a brand new business owner? You've been around, you've seen a lot of things. What advice would you give to a brand new business owner?
Do not overextend. That would be one of the biggest things I would say. Do not overextend yourself. Okay. Build your foundation. Make sure your business is scalable. Okay. You don't want to take on all this extra work, run yourself crazy, back to the time thing. Lose all your time, work 18-hour days, sleep 2 hours, not eat anything, get sick. That's not what you want. So do not overextend. Stay inside your bubble and grow your bubble. That's the only advice I would give to anyone that wants to start a business,
I
and be
like that.
persistent.
I like that. And you're right. If you end up doing it wrong, you won't have a business. You just have a job.
There you go.
it, and it's a hard taskmaster. When your business is operating properly, it's the most beautiful thing in the world. And when it's not, it's the biggest nightmare. So I have like this little tagline where it says, making your business dreams come true, because we all start with some dream. Like, I'm going to start this business, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do that. And if you don't do it right, that dream turns into a nightmare. So if you want to have that dream come true, one of the things, like you just said, is don't overextend, right? It will quickly get out of hand. So that's a good piece of advice that you gave to business owners. And I'm sure that someone who's starting out, we feel like we got to devote this much time, but you just helped us to realize that maybe not. We've got to find a way to find that balance. And it's interesting with you because you are such a driven person. I see your work ethic, but you still figure out how to, or are figuring out how to make that work. Cool. So I got one bonus question for you. So you ready for this? Every week, just about, we do a mastermind. You've been in a few of our masterminds, and we always chat about different topics. This week we talked about pricing. But a couple weeks ago, we talked about this quality or this statement. And I want your thoughts. It was, the degree of your success depends on the quality of your relationships. What do you think about that statement? How does it apply to business?
That's pretty deep, Mark. That's pretty deep. Because not for nothing, like I was just saying before about the window manufacturing, that when we were window manufacturer, the reason we switched over is we found the right person, the right company to connect with. That's just relationships. You know what I'm saying? The owner of the company ended up going to my bachelor party because we had such a great relationship. You know what I'm saying? It is, and me and you, we have great synergy. I like working with you. I like getting on the phone and call and talking to you because we have a great relationship. I think that's actually one of the most important things in success too. Having your right relationships, to be honest. Persistence, relationship, hard work, all that goes into being successful. Even my relationship with my family, like you said, it's a weird relationship. Why do we gel so well when other people can't do it? It's the relationship we have. So yes, relationship is extremely important into the business, and it's even for banks, or if you want financing, you have a great relationship with this bank, and you don't have no relationship with this bank. Most likely, you're gonna get money from the bank you have a relationship with, right or wrong.
Yeah, that's
You
right.
know,
Right.
So,
They say we do business with people we know, like, and trust.
there you
Right.
go. Mm-hmm.
And it's so true. And relationships matter. I always say, that's interesting. I use that phrase. I did a podcast earlier, and the woman said, relationships matter. They really, really do. I always say, all my clients love me, and I love all my clients, because the ones that we didn't get along, I dropped them. It wasn't worth it. That's the beautiful part about being a business owner, right? We can decide how we work and who we work with. And so if you can build good, solid relationships, you will enjoy your work. And
Yes.
so I really like that statement as well.
Well, the thing is, I'll be one thing though. I wouldn't drop them. I would pass them on to someone else. Maybe they have better energy. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to lose the
Yes,
bottom
yes, yes.
dollar. I don't want to lose the dollar, so I would pass them on to my brother, or I'll pass them on to another rep.
Well,
And
see, I'm the solopreneur that walks alone. You have the family, right? So for me, it's me. I am the client face of my business, right? So even like, and Claudia, Sharon, but ultimately I'm going to deal with them. And it's interesting because and I don't know how it is in your business, but like my staff, we all get along. We're like this. So like, there was one time when I had a client who was yelling at me because of some mistake that was not my fault. It was actually his fault, but he still, you know how that goes, right? He was really, really upset. And I was cool about it. So I told Claudia, she's like, drop him. I'm like, Claudia, he was just upset. I said, I think we can work with him. I told my wife, she's like, drop him. Because Claudia's like, drop him. You can't. That guy, we're like this now. because our spirit was fine. He was just an
Mhm.
upset individual, but we all have the same synergy. So for me, it's like, no, if I can't feel it, then because it doesn't matter to me. The dollar doesn't matter. It's the relationship that matters. That the money will come when you find the right people to work with. So that's the way
Exactly.
I feel that one. So, but hey, man, I'm running on my time. I want to thank you so much
No
because this
problem,
was
bud.
fun, as I expected it to be. Um, half the time we're not recording anything and we're just acting the fool. So I really appreciate it. And I appreciate that you gave our listeners knowledge that they can use to be successful in their business again. Thank you so much, man.
Anytime, Mark. Anytime, my man. I'll see you guys later.
Sounds good.